Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be testing out the latest update for Assetto Corsa Competizione. This update is adding the Bentley Continental GT3 car and Misano World Circuit, which is the first new first-party car and track combo added in the Assetto Corsa series. So this is definitely an exciting development for the new update. Also, Super Pole, virtual reality support, and a basic pit stop functionality has been implemented. Also, the first bits of the performance rating and safety rating have been added. So, this is the second release in Kuno Simulazione's monthly pattern. First one was the initial release September 12th. This one's October 10th. Next month is November 14th, adding the M6 GT3 and Paul Ricard, as well as the basic endurance racing functionality and multiplayer, as well as the more advanced pit stop functionality, which my guess is that's going to be driver swaps and things like that. Then December 12th is the upcoming update for December, and that's the Ferrari 488 GT3, Hungaroring, spectator mode, and more improvements to the rating system. Then February will be the final early access release, and then the full game comes out sometime in Q1 2019. So, that is going to be exciting for the developments of Assetto Corsa Competizione. Also, keep in mind that if you purchase before November 14th, 2018, you get it at the reduced price of €24.99, or roughly $30 US. So, with that being said, let's fire up ACC, and seriously, I set it to load the update. Hold on. We will at least load it right now. But yeah, so I'm curious, have you guys actually been testing out ACC yet? I'd be curious to hear your impression so far. I watched a little bit of Gamer Muscle's stream, just a little bit, and then I just wanted to get my own raw impressions, so barely saw any of his driving and stuff like that. So I wanted to gain my own raw impressions. Let's also make sure that we are actually using my ACC profile. So yeah, this is my profile I've been using in SimiQ for the first build of Assetto Corsa Competizione. 900 degrees of rotation, -20 for the bump stop axis to give a little bit of dead zone. And because the force feedback added so much dampening, I actually set it to 0% for damping, friction, and inertia. And that felt okay for me driving in ACC. SimiQ force reconstruction filter I set to 5, and then the bandwidth limit was unlimited. To compare, let's show you my Assetto Corsa stats real quick. So if we go to Assetto Corsa SRP, you can see it's largely similar, except damping, friction, and inertia are at 1%, 1%, and 3%. And then I believe I also had another AC profile. Yeah. So this is my other AC profile. And yeah, it's the same thing, 1, 1, and 3. And that felt good for me to get an idea of having decent steering weight and friction that's like in a real car. But ACC, I turned down the damping, friction, and inertia because that was baked into the force feedback for ACC. And I'll see if the force feedback has changed. I'll see if it has. I have my Thrustmaster TGT in my bedroom on my next level racing rig, which I need to do some testing with. I actually got a message from someone on Instagram asking me about testing out the new update with the TGT. So I will do a little bit of testing with the TGT shortly. I need to finish my review of the next level racing FGT because, surprise, surprise, I got the SimLab GT1 Evo cockpit. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to review that, and I finally received it on Monday. I'm actually getting the monitor stands today. So, I am excited for that. And yeah, so you guys have been asking, I will give it a spin. But guys, if you want to stay up to date on some of the other updates for Sim Racing Paddock, you can check out the Facebook page, Sim Racing Paddock, the Twitter, SimRPaddock, or Instagram, SimRacingPaddock. you can go there, check out latest updates. So let's see what this 0.2 update is going to be. So let's see. Firing up the update. Blah. Computer is too trash to run this. Yeah, one of my concerns is that Unreal Engine, or not just Unreal Engine, but just really with an early alpha, early access title like this, you are bound to have that sort of issue with the optimization. It's not going to be as optimized now as it is before. So first off, we are just going to do some practice. I want to get an idea on how this is. So we'll set it to 1 p.m. Also, I need to make sure everything is mapped properly. John, I will try VR shortly. I will try it. I know Gamer Muscle was talking about how he was struggling a bit with it, so I'll check myself. Okay, so that's working just fine. Make sure force feedback. Yes! Yes! Thank you! They added more settings. Yes! You can turn down the damping. Hallelujah! That was one of my big complaints. That was my big complaint with force feedback in ACC. And they at least allow the option to adjust it. And no, we're not doing 200% damping. So, what I'm actually going to experiment with is I'm going to try my AC SimiCube setting. I'm going to try my AC SimiCube setting. Because, in theory, if I turn down the damping and let SimiCube handle it, I think it'll be a little better. So, I'm going to do about 10% road effects. We'll see how that is. So, 30% gain. I know that sounds low, but this is the large midge open sim wheel. 30% gain is roughly, I want to say 50% stronger than the Club Sport wheel version 2.5. So, Ruben, damping is, it's essentially resistance in the wheel where it dampens heavy impact. So, you can see here, there's resistance. It's tough to describe. It's dampening the impact. It's absorbing some of that force, per se. So if you think about like the term damping or dampening, sound dampening, it absorbs some of that sound for soundproofing, things like that. Similar to in concept. I find it's interesting how much things can actually, like, in terms of force feedback and stuff like that, it can translate between sound and stuff. So, the new Bentley Continental GT3. So, one thing interesting you'll notice, I don't have the paddle shifters on my Fanatic Universal Hub right now. So, actually, I need to map my Heusinkveld shifter. The reason I do not have my paddle shifters on because I'm in the process of reviewing that Asher Racing shifter. And the Asher Racing shifter, it kind of conflicts with this paddle shifter. So, yeah, I need to keep that in mind. So, yeah, I'm just going to use the Heusinkveld shifter this time around. Hope you guys don't cry foul too much of that. So, let's start this practice session. Misano is a tricky circuit when you're used to Nürburgring. Yeah, I have never driven Misano, so I need to test it. Right now, I'm still using my Heusinkveld pedals. Still using my Heusinkveld pedals on this main rig. Freaking love them. Maybe one or two minor gripes where you can kind of feel the friction between the bushings on it. But, I mean, I freaking love these pedals. Man, you sit far back in this car. So let's see how this is. I keep on wanting to grab my paddle shifter. So I'm going to be learning this all new track, so bear with me, guys. It might take a while for me to get comfortable. Sounds are good. Seaham, one thing you might want to keep in mind is these pedals are being discontinued. These pedals are being discontinued. So, what that means is that you can get them at a reduced price until they're all sold out. Or you can actually wait for the new Heusinkveld Engineering Sprint pedals, which I will be reviewing as well. So I'm not feeling too much from the force feedback still. Interesting. Or wait, it might be because I'm using the actual reduce setting. I'm not sure. I'll look at it in a minute. I've seen this work with a controller. I believe Super GT has driven this with a controller. So I could say that this should work fine with a controller. You might need to adjust some of the dead zones and the linearity of the controller. But I bet you could get it to work. So we'll break in. This feels like a fun track, though. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna actually pause. I want to take a look. Okay, they added a timetable. That's cool. Pits and setup. Please wait while mechanics are preparing the car. So you can pick those presets. So, you still can't enter the control setting from the gameplay, like, menu. That's slightly frustrating. Let me check something, though, with SimuCube real quick. And I pressed the wrong icon. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. You love the straight with the two corners. Let me see if ACC is working with my dash. I'm not seeing it. Okay, worth a shot. You play with the controller and it's amazing. Good to hear. So, if we go into my SimuCube profile, let's check real quick. Yeah, Pro pedals are a really good price right now, and I'd say it's a great option. Hold on. Okay, it is not letting me open my there it goes. There's my problem. In Assetto Corsa, I had it set to 30% strength. So, hold on. So let's do this. Set SimuCube to 100% in Profiler. We're 30% in gain, so we should get the forces now. Okay, that feels a lot better. You can actually feel it now. So. Okay. Even off the bat right there, I can tell the force feedback feels better. It still definitely feels heavier. It's heavier force feedback than an AC, but in a good way. You can feel the load up on the wheel now. A lot better. The subtle nuances of the track texture, you can actually feel that now. So. So yeah, from what I'm feeling off the bat, it does feel better from what we have compared to, say, like the previous update. Also, this is a different car, different track combo, so later on I'll do a little test with the Lamborghini at the Nürburgring, see if that feels different. There we go. I can still tell there might need to be some optimizations, though. There might be a tiny bit of input lag. I don't know if it's graphically induced or by the engine, or both. But it's a little less snappy than what's in AC1. OG AC, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Misano, tricky track, but it's fun. It's a very technical circuit. I can tell that it's like, if you don't get the line and the flow right, you could be in trouble. Right now, I'm just trying to learn the track. This is the Bentley Continental GT3 race car it's at Misano. The new car and new track update that has been added to Assetto Corsa Competizione. The first two right-hand corners, full speed. Okay, thanks for that. The Boat GT3. This is a fun car, though. I will say that. I can definitely see what people mean, but this car feels a little like the Corvette, because this is a front-engined car. This is a front-engined car. So it would exhibit characteristics similar to the Corvette. I think this has a longer wheelbase, though, so it might not be as snappy as the Corvette, I think. I do not have a high refresh rate monitor right now. I want to get one in the future, but for live streaming, since I can't output in higher than 60 frames per second, there's not really a point. I do want to get a high refresh rate, maybe an ultra wide for some rigs in the future. But yeah, I want to look at the perspective, ultra wide versus triple screens or things like that. So that's flat out. Oh, shoot. Had that weird glitch again with my adapter. This adapter or something has had this weird issue where the high forces cause it to just shut or hit every button. Let's see. That's headlights. Hold on a sec. There we go. It's alive! And then pit speed limiter gets turned on. I need to sort that issue out, either with the adapter or my wheel. The Bentley GT3 in R Factor 2 is a fun car. It really is. But yeah, I need to figure out what's causing that issue. Because having the car shut down in the middle of the race, no bueno. No bueno at all. But force feedback is genuinely better. It really is. You get a better idea on what the car's doing. You get a better idea on what you actually get car-wise. There we go. So, flat out here. Here was where we had that issue. Oh, man. You really gotta get car woe down there. You're talking taco beef serious. Okay. Well, I haven't had the issue happen on my club sport wheel with this rim. So that's why I'm thinking that it's something with the adapter. We'll see, though. Do I think ACC will kill iRacing IMSA and other GT series? No. I don't really think so. Because the thing is, iRacing is such a diverse platform. For example, you're bringing out IMSA. The thing is that IMSA is not GT3. IMSA is GTE. IMSA is Le Mans prototype. And it's Daytona prototype. So, from that standpoint, those are three kinds of cars that are not in ACC. So, with that being said, I do not think that it would be an iRacing killer. Some people, I believe, in the GT3 series might switch over. If they can get a good league, good online ranking system set up, things like that. But I don't see, like, IMSA flocking to ACC because those are essentially two different series. Okay, so let's hop out of here and we'll try a race because now we have pit stop functionality. I don't think it's a wire issue with the rim. I think it's a wire issue with the adapter I'm using. Because it's an adapter that allows you to convert, or not convert, but allows you to use a Fanatic rim on an open sim wheel. And it happens both with this rim and the Formula rims. So it happens with two rims. That makes me think it's the adapter. So let's see. Hot lap super pole. 2-lap shootout with specific car track combination. Hot stint. Quick race. So it looks like they added the aggressiveness slider. Yes. They didn't have this before. So now you can tweak the aggressiveness because one of the common complaints we all had was AI was kind of crazy. So yeah, you can adjust the aggressiveness now. That is nice. So let's see. Can you do a longer? Nope, you're still limited to 30 minutes. So we'll do 20, I guess. Except you have a race weekend now. That's nice. So you can do 2. Oh, okay. You can do. But you have to do 2 race sessions. Huh. Andre, you could do aggressiveness slider? I could have sworn they didn't have it. They had. Okay. But interesting, race weekend allows you to do 60-minute race. So what would a quick lap target time be at Misano? I have no clue. I have virtually no experience with it, so we'll figure out. So let's do confirm. And start session. Oh, they might have added in a hotfix, but they didn't have it with the initial release. I know that for a fact. Okay, let's see how badly our frame rate gets murdered right now. I can tell even right here that our frame rate is slightly struggling. I see there's a new sharpness slider. So, that could be interesting. We have the temporal anti-aliasing and FX. Still no MSAA, which is slightly frustrating. Well, let's see how bad our frame rate is right now. Okay, that is bad.
Alright, remember that the race is not won in the first corner. Watch out, and remember that our target is B10. Repeat, position 10.
I'm trying to get started. What is going on here? Hold on. Let me make sure my controls are mapped properly. Well, I think it's going to be optimized further as the game progresses. I can just tell it's not well optimized. I'm running a GTX 1080 and struggling. So let's make sure my clutch... Or no, not advanced. Or let's see. Oh, that's shift up, my bad. Okay, that's working. Yes. Electronics. Or wait. Okay, so pit lane. Ignition. Starter. Pit limiter. We are good. And that should be okay. Let's go down to medium settings. Because we want a decent frame rate at least. Actually, almost everything is at medium. RTX, I don't believe I have any ray trace shadows on. They had an RTX shadows slider or something here before. But nope, not now. Okay. Let's go back to single player race. Time of day. We're not going to do 11 p.m. We'll do just 1 p.m. because that should, in theory, allow us to actually have, or not great frame rates, but at least something. Motion blur off, you recommend. Thanks, Andre. I mean, still medium, it looks okay. I can tell, you can even tell from the menu that the frame rate isn't at a rock solid frame rate. So you're saying motion blur disabled. Should be good there. Yeah, still very low.
Alright, remember, the race is long. Watch out for traffic, and remember our target is B10. Repeat, B10.
What the heck? Okay, let's try this again. I don't know why the car's not starting. Let's check some options. Assists. I don't... Or clutch manual. So, manual clutch should be going. Automatic start.
Alright, mate. Remember that this is a race session. Watch out, and remember that our target is
There
B10.
we go.
Repeat, position
Right, Masterful. I remapped the starter, though. I mean, it's not unplayable. I'm gonna say that. It feels like maybe 40 frames per second. Still, I would have wished they had a little more optimization for the second release. But full disclosure, guys, remember, this is a early access version 0.2 title. Don't buy into this expecting a rock-solid game. I mean, early accesses are rough. They are. So keep that in mind. So yeah. It's playable for what you get. I'd say it's decent for hot lapping, but for something like this, I'd say not as much. Ah, that pit limiter thingy-majigger. I wish you could turn that off. It's like, or not pit lane, but pace lap assist. I'd rather you could turn that off and be responsible for your own idiocy. I'm just going to put it that way. Because you can lag back. And it limits you to 120 kilometers an hour until the green flag. And it's like, okay, why? And now I was limited down to like 70, 90. Just seems totally random. Well, Johan, the thing is that I would like to be able to do the full pace lap, but not with this intrusive assist. Sitting in the back seat? No, the Bentley just has a very far back seating position. But before the race starts, actually, let's go into view settings. So, yeah, they added pitch adjustment, which is nice. We can bring it a little closer, so if we want it a little more realistic. Or maybe not realistic, but closer to this. There we go. Quit. That's a little closer, at least.
Green light, give it all you can.
There we go. Whoa! That was on me, I think. I want to say that was on me. Let's see if we can close in. This corner reminds me of Barcelona. I think they will add damage modeling before the final release. They already have an option in the settings for damage. It's just disabled temporarily, so they're obviously going to have damage. Will there be safety car? I don't know. All I know is what they have in the roadmap. So let's see if we can start learning how to handle this car.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Well, I know iRacing's new damage model, it looks freaking amazing, that they're hopefully going to roll out this year or next year, where just car parts will fly off and things will shatter. But also, we've only seen the damage on one car so far, I think. They have a huge roster that they need to adjust. Whoa, okay. That was on the brake oversteer, but I could actually feel what the car was doing, so yeah. So one of the reasons I wanted to jump to this race was I wanted to test out the pit stop functionality. So let's do it this lap, actually. So we can pull in here and see how this works. Sheesh, they limit you low. 50 kilometers an hour. I am not seeing anything for pit stop adjustment, though. So here's the spot. And... oh, here's the spot. So, pit stop. Well, that's one way to do a pit stop. No crew. I'm hoping there's going to be a crew later. Okay, so that's how you do a pit stop. And that's how you don't exit the pits. Cold tires. And cold brakes, too. Gotta keep that in mind. Man, that Lamborghini's on a tear. So flat out, flat out. So yeah, early thoughts on this. Performance issues still there, still expected though. It's early access. This car's fun to drive. It's definitely a different beast compared to the Lamborghini, which is great because that's, again, to be expected. This is a front-engine car, very wide wheelbase. So, with that being said, it's going to be not as responsive as the Lamborghini. This also has more horsepower, so keep that in mind. From what I'm seeing from this so far, expect problems with VR. Expect problems with frame rate. Expect maybe the asynchronous space warp to kick in, which is less than ideal for in my opinion, for sim racing. I like to have ASW off as much as possible. And yeah, so early thoughts, positive. I like the car. I like the track, even though I still need to figure out how to drive it well. And yeah, I'd say this is a fun update. Still need to test out the Super Pole and test out different functionality. So yeah, Gamer Muscle, he has a 1080 Ti. I have a 1080, so I say there's no hope for me to get a rock solid 90 frames per second if I'm not even getting 60 frames per second with a 1080 on 1080p.
Well, not my personal fastest lap.
But yeah, basically what we can hope is with upcoming releases, the game gets more optimized, it can be a little more stable, and yeah, so with that being said, let's hop out of this train wreck of a race and look at some of the more features. But yeah, still, this is early. This is Assetto Corsa Competizione version 0.2. Long way to go, guys. Long way to go. So let's check out this sprint race weekend. So we'll do 2 10-minute races. And then qualifying 2x10, 2x10, 2x10. So let's do that. I haven't seen anything for true triple screen support. I mean, sure, you can do the stretched image, but I haven't seen anything for true triple screen supports. So we'll do 92% strength. So this race, though, I'm going to do Nürburgring because I'm a little more comfortable with Nürburgring. And we'll still go with the Bentley, though. So this should have us do qualifying. And Alessandro De Petra, thank you for subscribing. I just realized I don't have the alert box set up for this, so let me do that real quick. I apologize if I've been missing notifications for subscribers. I just activated the alert box, so if we do get more subscribers, and I apologize if I missed anyone else. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we can see if this alert box is working now. So yeah, sorry about that. I just noticed it now. I noticed the name pop up, and I was like, wait, there's no alert box. Well, we can check now. So, this is just quick practice. We'll get a feel for the car at this track. Again, much more detail in the force feedback than last update. So that is something I am happy about. And I'm only using 10% road texture, road feeling. So if I added more, I bet I'd get more feeling in the road. The alert box is an empty box. By the way, Empty Box, he published a new video talking about his opinions of iRating and how it's working in iRacing. It's an interesting video. I'd say give it a watch if you haven't already. But it's an interesting perspective on the rating system, and for the most part, it works well in iRacing. It really does, but sometimes there are the occasional problems with it. And I'm not just saying that because I have a sucky iRating. That AMG, though. I should stay in third there. Whoa. That sucked. Well, I know my iRating was about 1,700 on the road and 1,900 in oval, I want to say. I don't remember for certain, but if you look up William D. Marsh, not William Marsh, but William D. Marsh, that is my account in iRacing. A little squeeze down on that Ferrari. Traction control really inhibited me there, though. Let's see. We're at 6 out of 8 traction control. Let's bump that down to 4. Got the car to step out a little bit. The rear view mirror looks a little better than the previous, or like, initial release, which is nice at least. The 488 is going to be a lot of fun in this game. But yeah, the rear view mirror looks a little better. That's nice. Still not great. Still not the level of AC1, but I'd say it's serviceable. I'm noticing some major pop-in, though. I'm noticing some major pop-in at the top of Schumacher in the rear view camera. Or the rear view mirror, I should say. So keep that in mind. It looks like still level of detail, like LODs. Those need to be a little more sorted out. Yeah, you can see, like, the track will actually disappear instead of, like, scenery around it. That's interesting. Hopefully that can be refined more as time goes on.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Okay, well, let's check this timetable right here so you can see, like, different laps from people, things like that. Skip session, so this should skip us to the second practice. Yeah, free practice 2.
Green light, green light.
I would like an option to skip session from that main splash screen. I'm noticing you don't have that option. So here, we're in qualifying 1. You have setup. We'll try the aggressive setup. Because why not? But yeah, options, weather, and quit. So
Green light. Give it all you can.
I would like to see the option to skip a setup straight from that menu. I know I'm being a little nitpicky, but hey, it's the little touches, the little details that can really flesh out a racing title in general. So let's go to traction control 3. Get some heat into these tires and the brakes. Oh wow, that is oversteer. But I can actually catch it. I just realized you can actually catch the slides now. It's just something that I took for granted in Assetto Corsa, R Factor 2, and even iRacing. You can actually catch the slides now. You can get a feeling of the rear of the car. You were missing that in the initial ACC release. You can actually feel the rear end of the car now. Yeah, you can start to feel the car step out, and you can catch the slide. That is good. Bravo. I am happy with that. So yeah, force feedback. Massive improvement over what we had before. So I am really happy with that. Whoa! Okay. Be careful hitting the curb. I am so used to left-hand driving cars that I kind of killed myself there. So let's see how this goes. Whoa! I haven't tried the VR support yet. You guys are literally watching the first time I've ever driven this. Alright, this new update. From what I heard from Gamer Muscle, the VR support still needs a lot of improvement, mainly in the optimization front. The optimization front is really what needs to be improved on. That's the part I'm struggling with. Because when you drive around cars, you can tell that the frame rate takes a major hit. So maybe driving by yourself in VR could be okay. But driving with other cars, I'd be kind of concerned. I think it would dip below 90 and the ASW would kick in, which a lot of people are not a fan of, myself included. They need to work on optimizing this title more before I could really say it's good with VR. Because I'm driving single monitor 1080p, medium settings, and I'm still getting frame rate struggles. With a 1080 graphics card. That shouldn't be happening. But I mean, the thing is, again, this is early access. This is early access. If you go in expecting a highly polished title, you're coming in waiting wrong. Well, this is not... I don't think I'm CPU bottlenecking. I'm using a i7 7700K in here, overclocked to 5 gigahertz. That wouldn't be an overclock. I think it's an engine optimization issue. I think it's an engine optimization issue. They need to work on it a little better. I mean, later I can move my 1080 into my Ryzen 1800X and see if there's any difference, but I can't really see a difference happening there because the 1800X, the single core clock is lower. I get, I think, 3.9 gigahertz on my Ryzen, and I get about 5 on my Intel. Well, actually, here's what we can do. Here's what we can do real quick. I'm going to pull up my task manager, and I'm going to monitor the cores while we are driving. I think that's going to be an interesting experiment. So, performance. And let's see. CPU. Open resource monitor. Let's see. So we'll drive a little bit and get some telemetry, but yeah, I can tell it's a total CPU bottleneck. So I'd say it's poor optimization on the CPU front, but also we need to take in consideration I am live streaming as well. So, but yeah, CPU utilization, 100% on every core. Every core. Every thread, I'm getting 100% utilization. That is interesting.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
GTX 1080, you get 180 to 100. Could be because I'm streaming. Oh boy, Marcel Offerman's, oh boy. And he's telling me to stop streaming. Well, if I was streaming R Factor 2, you wouldn't tell me to stop. But you'll have to run some telemetry figures and stuff like that, see frame rate, performance, things like that. It could just be streamers really get hit hard. I'm about 90% sure it's not dropping the encoding. Like, I don't think that would be fixing it. Let's check something real quick. GPU utilization, 50%. So, in theory, we should be able to turn up our settings. So, let's try this. Epic, 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 epic. Let's see how this goes. No frame limit. Epic. So let's see how that goes. With epic settings, 59% CPU or GPU usage. And now I'm getting the weird detail in the virtual mirror. I can see how much load OBS is taking. Yeah, so let's take a look at that real quick, actually. So if we go into processes, OBS is taking 22% of my GPU, or of my CPU. 45% is taken by ACC. Google Chrome's taking up 6%. And then a lot of like 0.10%. So yeah, OBS and ACC are taking up 60% of my CPU. Let's see if I can close some extra Chrome tabs. See if that helps a bit. I'm paused now? No, don't look paused. So let's see. Resource Manager. Or no, Pelicoon, I'm looking at the historic usage right now. Historic usage. So let's see. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at historic usage going over the resource monitor.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
I mean, it doesn't feel horrible. It feels like I'm getting roughly the same percent, or same frame rate. Hold on a second. But yeah, it's interesting doing this sort of research. Hold on. Come on, drag over. There we go. So let's see how this is. So we got 1 minute left in this qualifying session, then we'll jump into a race. So as I'm getting closer to other AI cars, I'm seeing closer to about 60% CPU usage. We'll see how it is when we're in a starting grid, though. That's what I'm wondering about. But I'd say I'm getting legitimate 100% CPU usage right now. And I have 70% GPU usage. And that's considering that I'm transcoding with the GPU at the same time, running in epic settings. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that OBS is taking a toll. OBS is taking a toll on this. Theoretically, if I could get my Ryzen overclock a little more, it might be better. Who knows? But yeah, my CPU is definitely bottlenecking right now, I can tell. After a session, I'll see if I can turn down the transcoding and see if that helps at all. So let's go to skip session. I have the Ryzen 7 1800X, the 1800X. Neotronics, Gamer Muscle, he tested out the VR. He tested out VR. So, I'm going to do 4,200 kilobits per second. Or, yeah, kilobits per second. So, drop in the encoding. Let's see. I could do transcoding on other PC, I know. So let's try this out. Just gonna cut out for... I know it just cut out for a second. Let's see how this works. Still, I think, showing 100% CPU utilization. Yeah. We'll see how this goes, if it changes anything.
Go, go, go.
So we can skip this session and we'll go straight to the race. Let's see how crazy our CPU usage gets in the race.
Okay, the race is about to start. Hold your position until the green flag. Watch out in the first corner.
55% usage, 57, 58, 60. Yeah, this is... Okay, it's... Oh, it's the encode level. Okay. Let's check that real quick. So if we go into OBS... Output level... Are you in profile, or... Let's see... High performance. Let's give that a try. But yeah, I'm only getting 25% CPU usage from my OBS, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, George, hey, try and help out. I hate this limiter, though. I hate this limiter. Just bumps you at 90. What's NDI? Actually, Marcel, I'll send you a message after this stream, I think. I don't even know what NDI is. So let's see how this goes. But yeah, I'm running on epic settings, and we are getting 70% GPU usage. So on the bright side, like, it's something CPU-wise for me. So we know that right now. Change option to last corner start. Yeah, I'll change it in a minute. All right, for next race. Okay, that might be an option for me because I have everything hardwired, I think. I'll have to look into that. As I miss this corner on the pace lap. Whoop whoop. But yeah, I'll need to try to figure out how to optimize my system better. But also, I'm just streaming, so that's life, unfortunately. Alright, couple corners from the start. And somehow, by some miracle, we qualified pole. Let's see if we can actually win a race. Come on!
Green light, go, go, go.
Oh man, just did not account for cold brakes there. Now our journey begins. But yeah, once you spread out of the field, it is decent performance-wise. It's drivable, definitely. I mean, it's drivable in traffic at the very least. I just think that they need to do some more code optimizations to reduce the CPU usage. This game was using, it's using 60% CPU usage right now. And that's on an i7 7700K, which is pretty intense. And I think they do know how to optimize the code, but also this is them transferring to a new engine. They need to learn some of the quirks and features of it, to quote Doug DeMuro. They need to learn some of the features. They need to learn how to optimize it better, and that's what this early access period is for. That's really what the goal is. So as this progresses, I expect it to be getting better and better. It's something that I'll be monitoring now because I'm getting pretty fascinated with this technical element. I'm getting fascinated by seeing how much CPU this is using, my GPU, what RAM it's using. So I think it's something that I want to study a little more. And hopefully that can benefit in the way that I start reporting game updates and stuff to you. I'm like a walking chicane right now. How is it? It's a major improvement over the first update. This is a legitimate improvement. The biggest thing I'm kind of floored by is the improvement in the force feedback. The improvements in the force feedback are very welcome and very appreciated. Just thinking about how I'm actually able to catch a slide now, how I'm able to better feel what the car is doing. It really does speak volumes. The force feedback is a night and day improvement. It really is. And just the ability to turn down the dampening, that is something that speaks for itself as well. And this guy is just hot on my tail. Need to see if we can build up a bit of a gap. Well, Edgar, these cars have power steering in real life.
Window is opening.
So I guess we do have to make a pit stop this race. Multiplayer comes in, I believe, next month. Next month, I believe. Twin Twix, did you adjust the settings for force feedback? I had to adjust the settings to get a better feeling. Okay, that was a little oversteer into the corner. Okay, I'm going to pit next lap, I think. Next lap, I'll make the pit stop. What?
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
That was... It wouldn't have even given me an option to pit. I wouldn't have even gotten an option to pit if I went in the pits. Huh. And no one else pitted, so... Is everyone gonna be penalized? We'll see at the end of this race. No! Not good. Let's try to salvage and keep this podium. But yeah, I'll have to test out with my TGT later on. Wait, he's pitting. I'm confused right now. Well, I guess I'll try to pit next lap if it lets me. I thought Nicky Team said he didn't like the iRacing version of the GT3 cars. They need to optimize this big time before they even consider putting on consoles, and we'll see how it is as this game gets closer to release, because, again, still just version 0.2. We'll see how it is. But yeah, in my opinion, with this direct drive wheel, this is a significant improvement in force feedback. I haven't tested with the Fanatic Club Sport wheel. I haven't tested with the Thrustmaster. I need to figure out testing with those units soon enough. And I'll keep you posted. Thanks to whoever it was who subscribed. I'm sorry, I just realized that my telemetry is actually blocking the subscriber notification. Okay, I see it's Tyler King. Thanks for subscribing. So let's try pitting this time. I don't know if I'll get in trouble.
Alright, you're on the final lap as leader. Bring it on.
Okay, we might get in trouble here. ACC feedback, no way is it better than Automobilista. No way. Automobilista has some of the best direct drive force feedback in my opinion. Did we miss the pits? Yes, we did. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm curious. It's saying session over. So do we have one more lap, or are we... Because before it was one more lap.
Excellent job, man. What a race.
Oh.
Bring it back home safely.
Okay. Well, I guess I won. Huh. I'll take it. Please press pause or drive to your pit box to end the session. Huh. Okay. I'll take it. So, one more race, and I'll share my closing thoughts on ACC for this update so far. Later on, I'll test it out in VR. I will test it out in VR in the near future. But yeah, I'm going to close out telemetry. We got basically the answers we need. So, crossed a red light there.
Right,
Hey, they still gave me the win.
Hold your position until the green flag. Take it easy in turn 1.
So, just my thoughts on ACC so far. It's promising. It's promising. It seems in some ways more polished than Assetto Corsa, and in a lot of ways less polished. You can see the pop-in issue. You can see that the CPU utilization needs to be improved. You can see that there's a lot of rough edges, but that's to be expected of a game that's in version 0.2 right now. If you guys remember early versions of Assetto Corsa, they were definitely rough around the edges, but then it got refined. The rough edges got chipped away, and then it became the game that we all, or most of us, tend to enjoy a lot. So, I think it's the same way with this. There are still questions that need to be answered. Like, right now, we don't know how much they are going to do in the way of CPU optimization. And that's something that really needs to be done for VR as well, because VR can use a lot of CPU optimization. On the bright side, though, one thing I will say that is promising. On my GTX 1080, I'm running on epic settings. And we are getting really good frame rates. We are getting really good performance from that, and we can see that we are getting decent utilization. I mean, 60% GPU usage while live streaming and while playing the game on epic settings. That I'm happy to see. So we are getting good GPU usage. CPU usage, whoa! Okay. CPU usage needs to be better. CPU usage needs to improve. Come on. And then there are a couple minor gripes I have and stuff, so we need to get that sorted. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. I hate this limiter. I hate the limiter. Hopefully they get rid of it soon. Also, the interesting thing is, we didn't get penalized for pitting too late, apparently. They need to work on the pit window optimization and stuff. Bentley drives really nice. It's forgiving. It's pretty fun. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thank you, King Racing 44, for subscribing. I just realized that window is massive. So I apologize, guys. I can tell that'll block the screen. But yeah, that limiter's a joke. They need the option to turn it off, and you get penalized if you go too fast. That's how it should be. Have a pace car. That limiter, this limiter has caused me to spin in the final corner at the Nürburgring. In this final corner we're about to go through, it has made me spin. You go through this corner, and like that, you get loose because it just cuts out all throttle.
Green light. Give it all you got.
And I just got treed at the start because of that limiter. Because I didn't want to hit that limiter because that would cause problems. There we go. We actually made the first corner for once. Getting used to the cold tires and cold brakes. Twin Twix FXAA Fast Approximate Anti-Aliasing was in the initial release. It wasn't just added today. So car on the inside. The sharpening was added. There we go.
Yellow flag, be careful.
I like subtle touch. The spotter's announcements, I like the way it looks now. In the first release, it was just text on no background. Now you get a background, so I think that's a little improvement. Protocol, force feedback, miles better. Still not perfect, still not great, but miles better. You can actually catch slides now. You can actually get a feel of what the car is doing. And yeah, it works well. So yeah, I could feel the car stepping out in that corner, and I could catch the rear end on the way out of the corner. Granted, I'm driving with a direct drive wheel. I haven't tested with Fanatec, Thrustmaster, or Logitech yet. Your mileage may vary depending on the wheel because, yeah, this is early access. Still working on refining stuff. Okay, so we have about 3 laps left in this race. Oh, that curb is brutal. Hey, Pull Tab, how's it going?
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far. The pit is now open.
Okay, I'm gonna pit this time by, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is a fun car. I don't think it's my favorite GT car, but it's a fun car.
The pit window is closing now.
So it says pit window is closing, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So one thing I'm annoyed with is this pit detection box over there. It seems like it's not the best. So you can see that it's that white box. Every race I've done, I've struggled getting into that box. So let's see. There, we're in the box. Force feedback on Fanatic 2.5 felt awesome. That is good to hear, Justin. That is really good to hear. Because I'll test it out on my Visaro with the VR. So I'll try that later. So let's get back into the car. Long pit stop. Cool sound effects. They just need the crew, too. Turn off the limiter. Little wide there. Cold tires, so we need to get some heat in. Pronounced screen shutter wobble when in car, no issue in external cars. I don't think I've had anything like that. I don't know for certain. So they're likely pitting this time, I bet. Yeah, they're in the pits right now, you can see. Let's see how many we can pass. Got 58 seconds. Looks like we're gonna get second this race. Am I getting better lap time compared to pre-update? I have not tested the Lamborghini yet, so I can't really speak for that. So, yeah, sorry. Can't really speak for that right now. But yeah, so final minute or so. Yeah, okay, final lap, that's nice. So, closing thoughts. I am more excited about ACC now than I was with the previous build. The force feedback feels a lot better. You get a better idea on what the car is doing. AI, there's more options for customizing and everything like that. That is a good thing. They need to work on more optimization, admittedly, but hey, we're in the right direction. And yeah, so Misano, Bentley, good additions. Misano is a very challenging track that you could see I was struggling with because it was my first time driving with that track. But I'd say once you start learning the track a little more, I'd say it can be a very fun technical track. The Bentley, simpler to drive than the Lamborghini in my opinion, but it is still fun. So yeah, I'm saying good update, good update. I'm liking it. I feel like I have good thoughts about it. So yeah, if you haven't checked out ACC yet, I recommend you buy it soon, because there is the case of the reduced price. If you buy it before the November update, it is €25 or roughly $30. If you buy it after the November update, then it is more expensive. So if you are looking to buy ACC anyway, I'd say buy it sooner rather than later. Get the reduced price, because I'm seeing good potential. I mean, sure, it's not perfect right now, but I see the potential. I'm happy with it. So yeah, those are my main thoughts on ACC right now. I would love to hear your thoughts too. So if you want to, drop by after this stream has finished processing, and you can leave your comments and thoughts. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for following me while I was checking out this new update for the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and you guys have a good one. Oh, by the way, before you go, remember, in about 4 hours is my Sim Racing System race with the RSS GT1 cars at Donington Park Grand Prix Circuit. So if you have the mod, if you have the track, drop by. If you are part of Sim Racing System, I would love to have you. I will likely open a lobby around 5 o'clock or so. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching again, and hopefully I will see you later today.